Did Joe Biden take a $900,000 payoff from Ukraine? Hi, thanks for watching today. I have some breaking news, I guess. This is something that I thought for sure would be all over the news. I read about it last night, and I thought that would be the biggest story today. Turns out I was wrong again. It is nowhere. It's on some right-wing sites. I think the New York Post talked about it, but for the most part, this is not a story. But here, let me read from the Daily Mail. Joe's $900,000 Ukrainian payoff. Giuliani claims he has evidence that Biden Sr. received lobbying fees from son Hunter's Ukrainian gas company, Burisma, and that father and son also sold influence in China and Romania. Well, if true, this is huge, huge news. You would think someone in the American media might say something about this. No, they're not. Like, no one is covering this. It shouldn't come as a shock to me. You see, last May, I made a video about this whole Ukraine situation with Joe Biden, and I called it then that the media was going to do stories on this and his political run for president would definitely be over. I called that in May. And I waited, and the media said nothing. May, June, July. They waited for Trump to tweet about it a couple weeks ago, and then they started looking into the story. And I think that this update is going to be the same pattern. They're going to ignore it and ignore it and ignore it, and eventually they might say something about this. But let's go through this story here. Giuliani went on a cable news interview show last night, and he was talking about Joe Biden. I do want to say, Rudy Giuliani, not the best representative for you. I really think that Trump needs to get some better representation in the press. Giuliani is seen as a joke, and I don't think he looks the best representing the president, but, you know, that's just my take. Anyway, he cited new revelations from Ukrainian Member of Parliament Andriy Derkach. Says that Biden received $900,000 for lobbying activities from Burisma, he says. Now, Burisma is the company that Hunter Biden, his son, served on the board of. Giuliani accused Biden of quashing investigation into Burisma using vice presidential office. He claims the alleged lobbying fees was part of an influence peddling quid pro quo. Giuliani also hinted that the Biden's family sold influence in China and Romania. Now, Trump's request to investigate this Ukrainian situation with Joe Biden is what's sparked this entire impeachment probe that's going on. Now, I looked into this last night. I thought it was really interesting, and I thought it was funny that the guy who was putting this information out, once he made his statement, he said, I will have additional information on my Facebook page, which I thought was really good. But here's a graphic from Nabu Leaks that shows the connections in this Joe Biden Ukrainian case. The article goes on to say that funds in the amount of $900,000 were transferred to the U.S.-based company Rosemont Seneca Partners, which, according to open sources, in particular the New York Times, is affiliated with Biden. The payment reference was payment for consultative services, Derkach said. Derkach insisted that while serving as vice president, Biden used his influence to squash an investigation into Burisma, where Biden was reportedly making as much as $50,000 a month serving on the corporate board. That would be Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son. Derkach called for the U.S. Justice Department to independently investigate his allegations and the documents he released. Now, according to reports in Romanian media, Hunter Biden had business dealings in that country as well. Now, in the interview, Giuliani said that the media is refusing to consider evidence of potential wrongdoing by Biden's family, that the impeachment inquiry against Trump is unfair. And that's the fascinating thing about this story. It should be a big story, and so far it's not. Last May, I talked about this Ukrainian situation with Joe Biden. We went the entire summer, not a peep in the mainstream media. Now, if it turns out that Joe Biden took $900,000 as a payoff from Ukraine through Rosemont Seneca Partners, funneling it through there, if this turns out to be true, this story is huge. And I look forward to anyone in the mainstream media covering it. But we'll probably have to wait. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Peace.